Hi, my name is Chris McDonald. I'm a Technical Account Manager at Powerland, and thank you for joining us today to learn about Microsoft Teams. So with more people working from home due to the whole COVID-19 pandemic, many organizations are forced to find new tools to enable their users to collaborate effectively, both with their colleagues within an organization and between organizations as well. So Microsoft Teams is the service that we're going to use to facilitate that. So Microsoft Teams is an Office 365 service, and if you're already subscribed to Office 365, either Business Essentials, Business Premium, or one of the E1, E3, E5 services, you already have access to Teams. And if you haven't already enabled this service for your users, I highly recommend you do so. Something to keep in mind if you are investigating migrating to Office 365 is that Office 365 will undergo a name change on April 21st, 2020 to Microsoft 365. New name, same value, same price. So now that we have those formalities out of the way, let's look at how Microsoft Teams can help your users, whether they're still in the office or working from home. Keep in mind that Teams is a cloud service. So providing you have internet access, you can collaborate using Teams, whether that's through a desktop app, using a web app, or the mobile app on your smartphone or tablet. The functionality is basically the same, so you can always be connected to your organization and the teams within that organization. So let's take a look at the interface. Across the top of the screen, we can see the search or type a command bar, where there we can search for users, contacts that we may have. We can also view and modify our profile and application settings. For example, if I click on my profile, we can see we have the Powerland demo. I can see I can change my picture, set my availability, whether that's busy, do not disturb, be right back, appear away. In this particular case, I'm going to, because I don't have a picture set, I'm going to change my picture. And all I have to do is upload a picture into Teams, and it will be updated on all my Office 365 apps. So what I'll do is I'll just choose the Powerland logo and open that. And I'll save that to Teams, and I can close that, and you can see now that that logo is now reflected in the little icon there, and you can also see that I'm available. Had I gone and changed that to do not disturb, you'll see that I have that do not disturb icon, and it's set to do not disturb. I will only get notification for urgent messages at this point in time. But because I want to be available, I'm just going to switch that back, and now I'm going to get notifications when something happens. If a chat begins, someone wants to chat with me, or I'm added to a new team, something like that. Keep in mind as well, because this is Office 365, whether it's in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, that change of my image, my picture, will be reflected in those applications as well. So on the left-hand navigation, we have activity, chat, teams, calendar, calls, files. So these are all the various areas that we're going to probably be working in. So activity is pretty straightforward. If I've had any activity, you'll see any mentions, replies, or any other notifications in here. If I've missed calls, I will see that within my activity. I can also filter that as well. So if I want to filter down, if I have a long list of items in there, and I want to filter down to see any missed calls from a very particular user, I can filter based on that. Within the chat window, I can see my recent chats, and I can see my contacts, and again I have the filter option. So what I can do here is I can add or create a new contact in a group. In this case, there's my favorites. I can add a contact to this group, or I can come down here and create a new contact group, and I could name that whatever I might like. I can just call it demo in this case, and I can create a group. Now it doesn't have to be favorites, it could be demo, and I can add a user or a contact to this group. And adding a contact to this group is relatively straightforward because it's integrated with Outlook and the other Office 365 applications, which are also associated with your Active Directory. I can simply add myself, for example. I'm using a Powerland demo account here, but I can then add myself to this group, at which point I can click on that, and you can see my my other account is actually set to Do Not Disturb. If I click on that, I can start a chat with myself in this case. So I could start typing in here, and then that's going to generate some recent activity. So there I have, and I've just added, this is just a demo. I can also share files with users with my contacts. I can look at the organizational structure. I can look at activity. I could make a video call to this user, an audio call, or I can share my screen so we can collaborate more effectively on a particular document, or maybe it's a PowerPoint presentation, something along those lines. I can also expand this by adding more people into this chat. So if maybe it's not just a one-on-one chat that I'm having right now and I need to involve 2, 3, 4 people, I can simply click on Add People and start typing in their names and add those users, and they'll be included in that particular chat. Okay. Again, I can filter down if I have a number of contacts in here. I might have 10, 20, 30 contacts, and I want to search for one in particular. I can just use the filter option to then filter down through those contacts. As you can see, I don't have many contacts in here right now, so there's not much to filter on at this point in time. Teams is probably where we're going to be spending a lot of our time, because now what I can do is I can create a team. And these are focus areas, so I can build a team from scratch, or I can create it using an existing Office 365 group or team. So what I'll do is I'll just build a team from scratch. It can be public or private. So private meaning I've got to give the user permission to join, or public, anyone can join. So I'll just choose on public, and I'll just create a team. I can give it a description. I don't need to do that at this point in time, but perhaps I would. And it's going to go through and create the team for me. Okay, nice work. I've created that team. And within that team, I can now add members to that team. So I, again, will select myself and add that individual to the team. I can continue to type more names and add more members to this team. What's going to happen is all those members of that team are going to participate in that common chat area, or any files that we are sharing within that team. Again, we can collaborate all together on those. I can also specify that this user is an owner or a member. In this case, I'm just going to leave my other account as a member, and I'll click close. And at this point, you can see I've created my team, and I have a general channel. So channels are, again, we've got a team now, which is like a group, but I can now, and as you can see, I have been added to the team. So I can now focus my discussions. So this is a general channel, but I might have a number of other channels in here. One might be for pre-sales activities, training activities, other collaborations, whatever, depending on what you're doing at the time. Now, I'm a technical account manager, so I work with our sales team at Powerland, and I work in a pre-sales capacity. So I might have a pre-sales channel that I would create, and I can just call it whatever I want, and I can call it pre-sales, and I can again say it's standard, accessible to everyone on the team, so everyone in the demo team, or I can make it private to very specific people, so I can get a little bit more granular in that case. Automatically show this channel in everyone's channel list, I can do that as well. Okay, so I'll just add the channel, and you can see that I will have a pre-sales channel. I will also have a general channel. Any conversations that are started in general will show up here, and if I want to call out someone in particular, I can just say at Chris McDonald, and that's going to send them a notification as well because I called them out. Okay, so within this I also have files and a wiki. Okay, so I can take files, I can either create a new file within this section, or I can upload files that I've already been working on with a particular within this team. So I can click on new in this case and say I want to work on a new Excel workbook, and I might just call that demo, and it's going to create that Excel workbook. Again, this is all integrated with the other Office 365 apps, so now it's going to create that workbook for me. The beauty is everyone within that team, so we'll just click on close, everyone within this team, being the demo team that I just created, can collaborate on this application in real time. So I might be editing a cell over here, and someone else may be editing this cell, and it'll all be tracked. We can see who's connected, and we can collaborate in real time. We can also start a conversation on the side here about what we're doing within this file. Okay, and that way we can talk back and forth, or of course we could have been doing this using an audio or a video call as well. So I can close this as well. I also have the option of opening it up, before I close, I have the option of opening this in the desktop app. So you think, okay, well, I'm going to open in the desktop app, so I might lose that collaboration. Well, that's not true. When I open this in the desktop app in Excel, any changes I make within Excel are reflected here as well, as long as I'm working on the same file. Okay, and those changes, like other Office 365 products, are saved automatically. So I don't have to worry about going over here and clicking save, because it's being saved automatically for me. Okay, so I'll just close that. I can add other applications or other tabs to a team, be it Excel, OneNote, Word, it might be Power BI, could be any. These are your Microsoft options, and then there are also third-party options that I can add into that particular team. So maybe I might want something like event management. If I was working in marketing, I might want to have something in there for that perspective. Or I could use any of these particular applications and add them in. Anyone in the team can then collaborate using these tools. Okay. Now, again, I can create numerous teams. I can create or join a team here, create numerous teams. I can have a wiki. I can add items. Okay. And each channel has its own workspace. Keep in mind, when I add files to these workspaces or these channels, these are secure. So within Office 365, you also have multi-factor authentication that can be enabled. So you want to be assured that these files are secured and that your data loss prevention strategies are being taken into account. Because it's part of the Office 365 suite, all those tools can be brought to bear to protect your data. So, thank you for joining us today as we look at Microsoft Teams. Please join us soon for part 2, the continuation of this vlog series on Microsoft Teams. If you have any questions regarding this video, please leave a message below or visit us at powerland.ca. And if you enjoyed this video and want to hear more from Powerland, be sure to subscribe below. Thanks very much.